Hey folks, welcome back to Moto Remy. We're going to talk about an alternative to what I've been talking about in terms of bike choice. And the alternative is going Harley. If you got four choices and you can't decide, well, why not pick the one that's going to give you another benefit? And from my perspective, yeah, any bike has an audience. Any bike has advantages over another. But there is a huge, huge advantage to something like a Harley Sportster, Softail Standard, the equivalent from an older lineup, something not so old that it's mechanically not reliable. It's going to be a project bike in that sense, but something not necessarily new, so that there's at least some of that. There's the oh shit moments for YouTube. Because keep in mind, I have another vehicle. I'm not counting on this as my only transportation. So if, the bike breaks down and, I have that moment of, oh crap, I need to get a ride back to my car and go get a trailer and go pick up my bike, that's good content. I mean, it's not the end of the world for me. I am self-employed, unless it keeps me from getting to the most critical meeting of the year, I don't care. So something like a early 2000s Sportster. Now this is a bike with lots of benefits. Okay, it's just a light. I thought I had something on my nose. Itchy. I can modify it however I want. There is a million aftermarket options and they are well understood. Like I can go into the dealer or go on, Instagram or YouTube or, a forum and say, hey, if I want to do X, what parts do I need that aren't obvious? Is there a fitting I need to get this part to fit on this bike? What screws should I make sure I have in case I lose one? Is there a particular tool that isn't obvious you're going to need before you get it all apart? From my perspective, I'm looking for something that is beginner friendly. Reasonably priced. I'm trying to keep it under 10 grand out the door. And preferably less. There's a reason I'm looking at the MT-03 and the CB300R so strongly, is you're basically looking at 6 grand out the door. That's hard to ignore. But, whatever, it is what it is. The resale value on the Harley is going to be better. At this point, if I buy a used Sportster 883 and don't destroy it, it's going to be worth more when I trade it in than it was when I bought it. Maybe not. It's always possible that it gets, depreciation hits. But if the market doesn't collapse and I don't get ripped off, maybe I lose $1,000. Whoop-de-doo. I can modify it however I want. It's good content. There's a big audience for it. And it's a very easy bike to learn that stuff on. It's an easy bike to learn to ride on, relatively speaking. It is an easy bike to live with. I can put some saddlebags on it. I can put a tank bag on it, or not a tail bag on it. I can, easily get any parts I need. The nearest dealer for me is not Harley, but they're not far. You're never far from a Harley dealer, are you? In every measure that I can come up with, it's a good option. And what I was thinking was, get a used or nearly new. They're new, but they're not. 883. Ride it basically stock. Maybe I change out the grips or something early on. Put the mirrors underneath and all that jazz, but nothing major. Get some riding experience. Put the time in on the bike. And when I feel like I want more, put a better exhaust on it. Open that up, put a 2-in-1, put an air system on it. Hey, tune it up, suddenly you're talking a much more powerful bike. That's a noticeable jump for a reasonable amount of money. Ride that for a while. If I'm looking for more, go bigger. One of my notes on my planning for this, if I did this, was when you're buying or choosing an exhaust and an air system, don't handicap yourself. Don't buy the exhaust that isn't capable of taking you all the way to a 1200 engine build. If I did a S&S or a Hammer build, don't have an exhaust as your upgrade that can't handle that and give you maybe not everything you would get out of that engine, but isn't going to handicap you with that engine. Same thing with the air system. If I'm doing it, don't get a barely qualifies as a upgrade air system. Get the air system you're going to want all the way down the road. I mean, you might change your mind style-wise or decide something else is better, but don't buy the basic one. And I repeated that everywhere through my notes. It was like, when you're picking out a tuner, don't buy the tuner that can only handle X. Buy a tuner that can handle X, Y, and Z, because you're going to do it. The other thing it has is a community. And I think that's critical because I am new to the area. I know almost nobody. I'm new to biking. I know nobody. I have said hello to some people on YouTube. That's critical. I need to meet people. I need to have at least some entry into that community. And I think that that's something you get with Harleys that, other than maybe Groms, you don't really get anywhere else. I don't know. It's an option. I'm looking at it. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing is that a used Sportster, not 8 years old with 30,000 miles on it, is like $9 grand. A new one is 10 grand. That stings because in 6 months it's going to be back to normal, where that used one with 2 years old or 3 years old with 5,000 or 6,000 miles is going to be 6 or 7 grand at the most. And it hurts. It hurts to spend that extra money. But I want to get riding. I know you guys don't want to watch this versus watching riding content and bike content. So I want to get out there. You, if you're watching this, would probably rather be watching that. So to me, it's one of those, what is it worth in a premium in terms of cost to make it happen sooner than later? Because if I wait until December, I'm pretty sure I can save a couple grand. It is what it is. Anyway, take care, have fun, stay safe, y'all. It is an absolute scorcher out there because despite the temperature not being crazy today, it's high 80s, it's gonna be low 90s. There's like no cloud cover. The sun is just brutal. So I was gonna go hang out at the pool and do work because I've got to just pull up leads and send emails. But I decided I didn't want to burn like a crisp. So, ciao guys.